The battle is on to fill the seat of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. California University faculty announces a potential strike date, and Kobe Bryant makes his final All-Star Game appearance in Toronto.
This is Valley View News.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Daisy Lightfoot.
And I'm Nicholas Seaman.
The unexpected death of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia last weekend has triggered a battle between the political parties and their presidential candidates. Republicans believe that President Obama should not nominate someone to replace Scalia, but Democrats disagree.
Let the voters weigh in November, and then we'll have an appointment. The court can function with 8 justices. It does it all the time.
I don't think that Mitch McConnell has it right on this issue. The Constitution is pretty clear, and that is, it is the job of the President of the United States to nominate members to the Supreme Court, and the Senate confirms.
President Obama is going to submit a nominee, and in all likelihood, this person will be out of the mainstream.
President Obama said he would nominate someone to the bench, and that's exactly what he should be doing. And Leader McConnell should follow the constitutional process.
Anyone that writes checks to Chuck Schumer and Harry Reid and Jimmy Carter and Hillary Clinton does not care about conservative justices on the court.
Scalia was appointed by President Ronald Reagan in 1986. He was one of the most conservative members on the court. He died at the age of 79.
The California Faculty Association and California State University Administration are deliberating over faculty salaries. Here's Valley View News reporter Javier Cabrera with the latest.
Which side are you on? The California Faculty Association has announced dates for a potential strike. They are April 13th through 15th and April 18th through 19th. The faculty says it will strike unless its demands for a 5% wage increase are met. Faculty members haven't received a raise since 2007. They took a furlough and 10% cut in 2008.
We think a 5% is fair for the work that we do. We have a passion for what we do. We love our fields. We love giving to the students. Most of the faculty that I know work 7 days a week, and we want to be here for the students.
The faculty union has been in contract talks with the CSU management for almost a year. The CSU remains committed to its 2% wage increase offer. The CSU has issued the statement. Campuses are preparing for the possibility of a strike. If a strike occurs, campuses intend to remain open. Many classes will be offered, and students should check with their instructors regarding the status of their classes. The strike shouldn't interfere with students being able to complete their semester and graduate on time. The union has 26,000 members.
And I'm walking through the campus, and there are people that 4 years ago would have never thought about striking. And now they're saying, I'm going to strike. When do we go out?
A neutral fact finder has finished reviewing the arguments of the two sides. The report will be delivered in March. The parties will then have a chance to use the report to either settle or prepare for strike. In Northridge, Javier Cabrera, Valley View News.
Doing your taxes can sometimes be stressful, and the cost of filing can be pricey. Cal State Northridge offers free tax services to CSUN students and members of the local community. Valley View News reporter Carla Gutierrez has more on the story.
It's that time of year again. It's tax season. And if you haven't filed yet, it's time to gather your forms and head over to the VITA Clinic. Located on the Cal State Northridge campus, the VITA Clinic offers free income tax assistance for CSUN students as well as for local residents.
We've been operating for the past 45 years, and we are designed to help low-income taxpayers in the San Fernando Valley and beyond to get assistance with their tax return.
This year, there are 270 undergraduate and graduate CSUN tax students that work under supervision of tax practitioners and have been trained and certified by the IRS for tax preparation. CSUN VITA Clinic Coordinator Victor Mendez says he is here to help make sure things run smoothly for the volunteers and the taxpayers.
Making sure the students, they get the experience, and sometimes they have questions that they don't know how to address it. And maybe I'm able to help them come up with the answer. Not just give them the answer, but like guide them where to get the answer.
CSUN student Dennis Rivas says he received an email from his Educational Opportunity Program about the free services and enjoyed his experience.
He was great. My tax preparer, he was really good, and we were talking, and then he was asking me questions. I felt pretty comfortable because he was like my age, so we could understand each other. It was a great experience.
This year, the VITA Clinic has expanded their service location and hours of operation. For more information, visit vita.csun.edu. From Northridge, I'm Carla Gutierrez, Valley View News.
The European Parliament is accusing furniture retailer IKEA of avoiding up to $1 billion in taxes between 2009 and 2014. The European Green Party says IKEA was moving its money from its European stores to a Netherlands subsidiary. The money would be untaxed in Liechtenstein or Luxembourg. In 2014 alone, the report says IKEA avoided $39 million in taxes.
Uber has settled 2 class action lawsuits related to the way the company represented its background checks and the fees it charged its passengers. The rideshare company will pay out $28 million to about 25 million customers that used its services between January 1, 2013 and January 31, 2016. The lawsuits allege the company misled users with phrases such as safer than a taxi and that its background checks were industry-leading. Uber will notify riders via email if they will receive a credit, but the amounts have not been established yet.
A suspect is in custody after causing 5-car collision last Monday between Lassen and Zelzau near CSUN. Police were pursuing the suspect when he hit a white Mercedes. After hitting the Mercedes, he swerved and hit the other cars. One was a silver Toyota that he drove under and fled.
From what we could see here is that the guy that was being pursued, he saw that cars were coming south, and so he braked. And then he hit one of the cars, and then it went off to the right into other cars.
Police arrested the suspect a short distance from the accident, and he was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. None of the victims were seriously injured.
A woman suspected of abandoning her newborn baby in a subway in West Covina was arrested last Monday on suspicion of attempted murder. After giving birth to the infant, the mother left the child in the subway toilet and tried escaping, leaving a trail of blood behind her. A customer found the baby crying, upright and half submerged in the water with the umbilical cord still attached. The baby was taken in critical condition to Queen of the Valley Hospital. The mother was arrested and identified as a 38-year-old transient named Mary Grace Trinidad.
3 women have been found dead inside of a Hawaiian Gardens home. Officials suspect that carbon monoxide may have been the cause of death, but the cause has not yet been determined. 3 LA County Sheriff's deputies who responded to the scene were taken to the hospital after being exposed to whatever it was that killed the woman.
Porter Ranch residents are asking for new safety measures before moving back into their homes. Residents want experts to conduct a sample of the air quality inside their homes. They also want Southern California Gas Company to replace aging wells, and they want the company to make video feeds of the gas field publicly accessible to show if a well is leaking. The leak has been stopped, and the company is working to permanently seal the natural gas storage well that caused more than 5,000 families to relocate from the area.
President Barack Obama placed more than 1.8 million acres of California land under federal protection. He also created the 3 national monuments, Castle Mountains, Mojave Trails, and Sand to Snow. The act will allow the protected wildlife and plants to adapt to the impact of climate changes. During his 2 terms, Obama has protected more than 265 million acres of land and water.
4 Americans have been arrested in Bahrain for providing false information to the government. Bahrain officials said some of the Americans did not register with authorities and were involved in illegal activities. At least one of those arrested, Anna Therese Day, is a freelance journalist. The government accused one of the Americans of participating in attacks on police alongside rioters in the city of Sitra. The U.S. Embassy in Bahrain said it is aware of the arrests.
CNN reports that 22 people have died in airstrikes at 2 hospitals and a school in northern Syria. Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu accused Russia of launching the attacks.
Even while we are having these meetings, Russia hit the school and hospital in Azaz with a ballistic missile from the Caspian Sea, and many children and civilians lost their lives.
The first hospital hit was run by Doctors Without Borders. 8 staff members are reported missing. Between 2011 and 2015, the Physicians for Human Rights have documented 336 attacks on at least 240 medical facilities in Syria alone.
Pope Francis's visit to Mexico has come to an end. The Pope started his visit with a mass in Mexico City. He also visited Chiapas, which is the least Catholic state in Mexico. Chiapas is a diverse indigenous community in the southern part of the country. Pope Francis has apologized in the past for the Catholic Church's colonial-era crimes against the indigenous people. His 5-day trip ended in Ciudad Juarez, where he visited a prison and celebrated Mass at fairgrounds near the U.S. border.
When we come back, we have more on Kobe's last All-Star game and gas prices lowering.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Can't let him make it. Dude, you better not be illegally downloading movies again. I don't want a virus on my computer. Seriously.
Yes!
Got it.
They got it. What an idiot.
When you rip off copyrighted material, someone could be ripping you off.
What the? Where's my money?
You guys going to my party on Friday?
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be crazy.
All right.
What's up, dude?
I'm loving your jacket.
Don't be such a fag.
If you don't mean it, why say it? Words hurt. Think before you speak.
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet a few who are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Mixed martial arts is gaining popularity all over the world. Valley View News reporter Nicholas Seaman has more on why men and women are stepping into the cage.
Mixed martial arts is probably not your first thought when considering sports to improve your health. Mixed martial arts trainer Vladimir Kachaturov explains how it got him in shape.
Within like 6 months, I lost about 50 pounds. I went down to 195, and I gained a lot of muscle weight, and I feel great right now. It changed a lot of my health condition. That's what made me to come back into the sport.
To viewers, the bloody, head-to-toe violence of mixed martial arts can make cage fights look like the most dangerous sport in the world. But Canadian researchers say MMA fighters are actually less likely to receive severe concussions than boxers. Professional boxer Tony Arutunian says after 11 years of boxing, he agrees with the study.
But MMA, it's grappling, it's wrestling, so you don't get a lot of impact on your head as much as you would in boxing, I'm assuming. And it goes up to 12 rounds.
Kechaturov says a common misconception regarding MMA is that it creates aggressive bullies.
When you're actually fighting and sparring every day, like we do every week, you actually know what fight is. And in a way, you're not any more interested in it. It keeps you away from trouble. And also, it builds up a lot of patience in you.
Parents may shy away from letting their children participate in this sport because of preconceived notions of its danger, but women within the MMA community consider it a chance to learn how to defend themselves and reduce stress.
You really have to have the heart and somewhat of the mentality like you're not gonna lose, like it's either you or that other person to be a fighter. But if you just want to join the class and learn some moves to protect yourself.
As mixed martial arts increases in popularity, more gyms are opening up in Southern California. This is Nicholas Seaman, Valley View News. Runners from all over the country showed up to race in the LA City Marathon. Runners showed up early at Dodger Stadium to prepare for the race. Runner Albert Pham talks about how the weather might affect his pace.
That kind of had me readjust my goals a little bit and maybe start a little bit slower than I was planning to before.
The wheelchair racers kicked off the race at 6:30. They were followed by the hand cyclists, and then came the runners. More than 20,000 competed this year. Runners had to endure temperatures in the low to mid-80s. Supporters lined the route to cheer the runners. The course was new this year and featured more hills. The men's first-place finisher was Weldon Kairui from Kenya. The women's first-place finisher was Natalia Lehonkova. After the race, the runners enjoyed some refreshments and headed home. One of the 20,000 runners was Carla Gutierrez. You may remember her as our sports anchor last week. Despite having back problems, earlier in the week, she was committed to running her 15th marathon and is here to tell us all about her journey. So Carla, what motivated you throughout this run?
I think it was just knowing that people were tracking me, counting on me to finish the race. And I also run for a purpose. I run in memory of my mom, so I would constantly think of her and just memories of her, and I'm thinking that she's proud of me for running.
Okay, and so Carla, how was Marathon 15 compared to all the others?
So it feels good to say that I've completed 15 marathons. It's always good to run the home city. You have tons of people cheering for you, family and friends. And it was a fun run for me. It's a race that I've done 5 times before. And it's also a race that kind of mentally helped me prepare for my upcoming race in New Orleans 2 weeks from today.
It was extremely warm during the race. How did you fare during the weather?
It was really warm. So it started off fairly cool, leaving Dodger Stadium, and as you start running through areas like Echo Park, Beverly Hills, the sun was just beaming down. So it was really warm, but it was good to finish in some fog. When we hit mile 20-21, we got a little bit of an overcast and a breeze, so it did feel good.
Thanks, Carla. Now here's Dorina with more on sports.
Thanks, Daisy. The Western Conference defeated the Eastern Conference 196-173 in the NBA All-Star Game. The game broke the record for most points in an All-Star game. 18-time All-Star Kobe Bryant made his final appearance in the game. Bryant had 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Bryant says it was fun and had a blast. He received a standing ovation when he walked off the floor. Oklahoma City's Russell Westbrook was the game's MVP for the 2nd straight year. Rookie Chase Elliott won pole position for the Daytona 500 this weekend. Elliott toured the 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway in 45 seconds. The Cal State Northridge women's basketball team is seeking to make the playoffs. The team started the season losing 5 games and now has a 6-18 record. The Matadors are 4-6 in the Big West Conference. Junior guard Emily Cole says the team had to learn how to play tough.
The conference isn't over yet. We've always played well in conference. Each game is big for everybody, not just us, but every single team. We still have the tournament to prove to people what we're made of, and our goal is to play the best basketball by the end of the season, and I believe we can still do that.
CSUN has 6 conference games left. The Matadors are currently 6th in the Big West. The parents of a Chicago Little League team stripped of its title last year are suing the Little League and ESPN. The players of Jackie Robinson West were stripped of their title after they were charged as some players didn't meet residency requirements. Attorney James Karamanis is representing the players' parents and their coach. He says the parents submitted the proper documents for their children.
The children knew nothing about this. The boundary maps were submitted, the eligibility documents were submitted to the JRW Inc., who submitted it to Little League, and then there were no problems with the children being within those boundaries until much later.
Karamanis says the lawsuit was filed now because the statute of limitations was running out. Little League International and ESPN say they don't plan to comment until they reviewed the lawsuit. That's all for sports. Back to you with more news.
Trains passing through Glendale may have to silence their horns soon. City officials say they are making plans for a quiet zone along the Metrolink train tracks in Glendale. The City Council will install a series of improvements that will establish the quiet zone. The major change will be substituting warning lights on the trains for the horns they now use.
Californians could receive a tax break on gas starting this summer. The California State Board of Equalization will deliberate on lowering the tax rate from 30 cents to 27.8 cents per gallon. If adopted, the tax break will take effect on July 1st of this year and will remain until June 30th, 2017. If implemented, the tax break will also reduce funding for local road projects.
The Titanic is making a comeback, not as a movie, but an actual cruise ship. The ship will be ready to set sail in 2018. Titanic 2 will have some of the original features that the original ship had. The cruise ship will sail a different route from the original. This time around, the ship will have lifeboats for everyone on board. Titanic 2 will have 840 cabins and room for 2,400 passengers and 900 crew members. The cost of the voyage has not been announced yet.
Coming up in health is a study on jet lag
and how easily accessible birth control may become.
Hey there, Mrs. Carter. You can earn over 10% on your money if you deposit your savings into our investment program.
Lucky sweepstakes winner.
Mrs.
Just
Carter,
enter your contact information and your winnings will
Grandma, it's me. Please help me. I'm stuck in Ohio and my wallet was stolen. Please send me some money so I can get home.
Millions of people, especially seniors, are targeted every day by an array of fraudulent scams through online technology. Please be aware.
You're on your boat. Your engines are dead. You're starting to sink, and you can't get a cell phone signal. Thankfully, you have a Marine VHF radio on board tuned to Channel 16. The Coast Guard and other boaters monitor distress calls on Channel 16. A radio is the best way to call for help. Don't assume a cell phone will work. Communication is your lifeline. Be sure you're heard.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it, I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. Get Fire Adapted now. Learn simple steps at fireadapted.org.
A group of scientists at Stanford University say they have found a way to prevent jet lag. The group exposes subjects to short flashes of light to help them adjust to the changing time zones. Researchers say this method could make treatment for jet lag easier without having to interrupt your daily routine. They also say more testing needs to be done before the technique is made available to the public.
A new study shows people who smoke weed regularly as teenagers remember fewer words as adults. The study also shows that more teens use marijuana over tobacco. The researchers found teens' current marijuana use was also associated with poor verbal memory. Researchers say the point of the study is to show teens the possible long-term effects of marijuana.
Women in California will soon be able to get over-the-counter birth control pills. The new law is scheduled to go into effect by April. The law was signed by Governor Jerry Brown back in 2013 and will finally be implemented. This will make California the third state in the country to allow birth control pills without the need of a prescription. Critics of the new law say it will reduce the number of women getting tested for STDs and breast cancer.
Now here is Caitlin Pei with entertainment news.
Thank you, Nick. Kanye West says he is $53 million in debt and is asking Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion to help him out. West also criticized Zuckerberg for building schools in Africa. He said instead Zuckerberg should help him out and called himself the greatest entertainer of all time. It is not known how West sunk into $53 million in debt, but recently he rented Madison Square Garden and put on a fashion show. Rapper Kendrick Lamar was awarded with a key to the city of Compton from Mayor Asia Brown. The ceremony honored the Compton-born singer for his public awareness and involvement in the city. Last year, he served as the 63rd Grand Marshal of Compton Christmas Parade. StarWars.com has announced the cast for Star Wars Episode 8. They also released a teaser trailer that shows the ending of Star Wars Episode 7, followed by a behind-the-scenes of the new movie's production. The teaser trailer was released to show the fans that Episode 8 is officially in production. Star Wars Episode 8 is scheduled for a release on December 15, 2017. The comedy-action movie Deadpool earned $135 million in its opening weekend. That's the most ever for a R-rated film. Deadpool broke the previous record of $92 million set by The Matrix Reloaded in 2003. Deadpool even had a better opening weekend than the popular rated R movies like Hangover Part 2 and 50 Shades of Grey. For the first time ever, 3 separate cover models have been crowned for Sports Illustrated swimsuit. Plus-size model Ashley Graham was joined by UFC star Ronda Rousey and model Haley Clausen. Graham was teased for her weight as a teenager and has given a TED Talk on loving and accepting her body. Graham has also backed the Plus is Equal campaign, which calls for plus-size women to be equally represented in the media and fashion industry. That's all for entertainment. Now back to you for more news.
A fire destroyed a vacant hotel in Van Nuys last weekend. The fire took 3 hours to extinguish. Officials suspect arson. No injuries were reported.
While other parts of the U.S. are still experiencing wintry weather, we'll be having record-high temperatures this week. CSUN students may notice a gust or two of those 18-mile-an-hour winds in the midst of 86-degree temperatures. Evenings will be from the mid-40s to the high 50s. It is expected to cool down later this month. Thank you for watching Valley View News. I'm Nick Seaman.
And I'm Daisy Lightfoot. We'll see you next time.